Southeast Michigan's ecosystems are under threat of invasion by plants and animals that originate somewhere else. When these invaders arrive, they outcompete native species and form a monoculture, an area occupied by only one species. Phragmites Australis, or the common reed, is one such invasive species.
Yeah, Phragmites is an invasive plant that grows really dense. Distance between stems is really close. The plants themselves can grow really tall, like close to 20 feet in height for the grass portions. So when you look at Phragmites stands like we have behind us, you see a lot of plant and you think that's a lot of plant to have to deal with, but that's really only about 20% of the plant. Usually about 80% of that plant is down underground in roots and rhizomes. So you can go through and you can remove the plant that you see, but there's so much down below that a lot of times it just shoots back up and you're back to the same problem pretty quickly. That plant grows right back.
Phragmites is widespread across southeast Michigan and other parts of the state. It has negatively impacted wildlife habitat, recreation opportunities, the transportation system, and our water resources.
Several issues with Phragmites when it comes to transportation. First is a safety issue, creates an issue for clear vision areas at intersections. Another issue is drainage. It fills roadside ditches. It creates drainage issues. And the third, and potentially can grow through pavement, so we have had issues on road shoulders. Phragmites have grown through the shoulders.
We rely on county drains and other stormwater facilities to convey and filter runoff to our lakes, rivers, and streams. A Phragmites infestation can inhibit that process. Homeowners associations with Phragmites infestations in areas such as detention pools should contact their local government or SEMCOG organization.
Well, we have a problem in Washington Township with Phragmites in our road ditches, in our storm basins, and in our drains that we need to address, and we have been addressing through our collaboration with the Lake St. Clair SEMCOG and partnering with the Road Commission, the Drain Office, and homeowners associations to accomplish this. So the township basically doesn't own any of the land that needs to be addressed, so we're doing that through our partnerships. We've treated our land, which is not a whole lot, but now we have safety issues in the roads. We have other issues where stormwater basins aren't functioning anymore that need to be addressed, so we're doing that through our partnerships.
The estimated economic impact of recreational opportunities along the St. Clair-Detroit River System corridor from boating, fishing, and hunting is $1.7 billion. Phragmites can interrupt this benefit by degrading nearshore marsh areas, cutting off wildlife habitat, and reducing fish and wildlife production.
So Phragmites is an invasive species that does a significant amount of damage to the natural ecosystem because it chokes out all of the native plants that are there, clogs up the waterways, and the other species, the birds and the fish and the critters, are not habituated to it. So they don't feed on it. It grows too closely and too tight, and so it chokes out the habitat for nesting and breeding. So it really causes big challenges to all of those wild features that we're trying to maintain and sustain in the region. So Phragmites is a big challenge in terms of blocking view sheds, you know, the great views of Lake St. Clair and the river that you want to have, and it chokes out access, makes it hard to get in to put your kayak or your boat in, reduces fishing capacity near shore where the Phragmites has grown in and choked everything out.
Phragmites has invaded in southeast Michigan, and it's negatively impacting our quality of life. To ensure present and future health of our water resources, wildlife areas, and transportation systems, local governments, organizations, and property owners are working together to prevent the spread of Phragmites.
So in Michigan, we've created a program called the Cooperative Invasive Species Management Areas, which is a partnership of local governments and nonprofits and academic institutions and private landowners that all band together to work cooperatively to manage Phragmites and other invasive species. So they're focused on providing resources at the local level so that you've got boots on the ground taking care of this stuff with local knowledge and local investment. So the SEMCOGs are able to manage the Phragmites and other invasive species on public properties very easily because they own it. But the adjoining private lands are very, very important in the larger picture because we need to take care of the full infestation. So private landowners that are willing to help out should report to the SEMCOG infestations that they find, and if they're willing to work with the SEMCOG to take care of it, that's great. Then it helps us eradicate rather than simply manage.
Learn more about your Cooperative Invasive Species Management Area, or SEMCOG, at michiganinvasives.org.